You've spent months hunting for that one app that will finally sort out your whole digital mess. And yet, you're no closer than when you started. I had a conversation recently that got me thinking about why so many of us end up stuck right there. Today, let's talk about the question you have to answer before any app can help you. Welcome to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost with me, Charly Leetham. If you're a small business owner looking to simplify technology and get real, actionable advice from someone with 35 years of IT experience, you're in the right place. Every episode, I'll dive into tools and systems like email, CRM, marketing and tracking, and I'll break them down into bite-sized tips you can use straight away. Your time is valuable, so let's get straight to the point. It's time to work smarter, not harder. Rise and Shine, it's your dose of business tech inspiration with me, Charly Leetham. It's Mindset Monday. I've got no idea what episode number I'm up to, and we're going to be doing a series of episodes in this series coming forward from here. This episode starts with me having spoken to a business owner recently. They booked a breakthrough session. They wanted some assistance in trying to get their thoughts together about the AI project they were running. Now, it's not because I'm an AI expert, it's because I speak about business and tech, and I speak about, knowing things before you go and do things, that they wanted to talk to me because they thought they'd get the clarity that they needed. I think they got the clarity they needed. I'm not sure it was the answer they were looking for. It happens that way sometimes. But this business owner has spent months and real money trying to find the one set of AI apps that would organize her entire digital life. Now, by entire digital life, she meant things like years of saved emails in her Google account, links that she's saved off, files in her Google Drive, files on her iPad, whatever it was, she wanted to get it organized. She could tell me every app she's trialed. She could tell me the things she's done, what AI was telling her, Notion and MySQL, and while she might have understood some of it, she was really sort of like, I just really don't get it. And I just don't know if this is the right way to go. What she couldn't tell me when I asked was what organized actually looked like. That was where I started our conversation. I said, okay, I've heard you say you want to organize your digital life, but what does that look like for you? What do you mean by that? Because you're talking about wanting to find leads, and then you're talking about wanting to find information in documents, and they're two totally different things. So leads were coming in on her email, of course. There was data in her files that she needed, and there's different requirements for each kind of piece of information, that's what I'm trying to say, or each type of information that she had. Now, this isn't a criticism of her, and I want to make that really, really clear. This is something that I've seen people wrestle with for years, not just with AI, with anything to do with business and specifically technology. And it made me think about how many business owners are sitting in exactly that spot with AI right now. Now, the problem is never the tool, all right? When we're talking at this level, the problem is never the tool. The problem is that we don't know the question we're trying to answer. So we can't see an answer and say, that's the answer I'm looking for, because we don't know what we're trying to solve for. It sounds weird, but that's normally what happens. Someone comes along and sees AI is going to organize my digital life. Let's do it. Why is it not working? What did it look like? How do you know it's not working? Well, it's not doing what I wanted, but what did you want it to do? Organize my life. What does that look like? It goes that way. Let me go back to bright shiny object. Oh, what was the one that came out? New list building. Okay, let's just go back to some of the old internet marketing stuff. New list building. This is going to build your lists 100 times faster. Okay. What do you want your list to do? Why do you want a list? What is it going to do for you? What is that list going to actually, I don't know. Okay, then why do you want that tool? Why do you want to invest in that? We don't know the questions we need to ask. Also, we don't know the question that needs answering before we go looking for an answer. That's what I'm trying to say there. Because we don't know the question that needs answering, we can't just hand that off to a machine and expect it to do the job for us. Now, in this case, we can't hand a machine the job of organizing our digital lives if we don't know what organize means to us in the first place. I'll probably have some haters on this one. AI is just a dumb machine. It's a very smart, dumb machine, but it is still a dumb machine. It relies on a large language model to get its information, and then with some smarts, it will go through that large language model and find the information you need. But if you're not giving that large language model good inputs, you're definitely not going to get good outputs. In fact, vague inputs are going to give you a confusing mess. Good inputs may still not get you the right thing either. It may still not get you great outputs, but you're going to go a lot closer if you can give it good inputs. Now, this poor business owner, had been asking the tools to tell her what she wanted, but they couldn't tell her what she wanted. They couldn't give her what she wanted because they didn't know. And in this case, she wasn't even sure of how that looked. I was going to say only she knows it, but even then, she wasn't sure of how that looked. So this isn't a beginner's mistake, though, and I'm going to come back to this a couple of times. This isn't a beginner's mistake. and while we're trying to resolve all of this, the money is still walking out the door. Now, I'm bringing money into it now. It's not just a beginner's mistake asking the tools to do things that we don't know what we want them to do, but now we're paying money for them to do what we don't know what we want them to do. And it's not a beginner's mistake because this happens with the solo business owner who has barely any capital and an executive managing a 7-figure budget. They both make the identical mistake. To that point, I was listening to a podcast the other day and Kavita Gainison, an AI advisor, was being interviewed. And she said that she had one of her clients message her and say, I want AI, I want sales. That was the message. I want AI, I want sales. And her answer was, if you don't have sales, that's a business problem, not an AI problem. AI might be able to help you get the sales, but if you don't have sales now, that's not an AI problem. There's another problem, and it's a business problem you need to address. And as you can see, it's the same mistake that the person who came to speak to me is having, but they've got wildly different budgets. And what that should tell us, it's not about how clever we are or how much money we can spend. It's about the fact that we need to ask better questions. We need to know the questions we're asking, in fact. Now, the person I was speaking to had a stack of subscriptions she'd signed up for Chasing the Answer. A lot of them she'd tried once or twice. A lot of them she'd invested a lot of time into trying to get them to do what she wanted to do. Most of them she never went back to, but that was money she was spending every month for tools she wasn't using or she couldn't use. And she said to me, she said, I've spent a lot of money finding out what doesn't work or finding out it won't work for me. Now, the sad thing about all of this is that if you're not careful, while you're trying to work all of this out, the money is going out the door. It goes out the door in the subscriptions for the tools that you're testing. You might not know what they do. You might not know how to use them. You're learning them, or worse, they're just too hard to work out, or you just don't have the mind space to deal with it at that point in time, and you forget to cancel the subscription, or you think, I'll get to that soon. And before you know it, months has gone by and you've been spending that subscription and not using it, spending on that subscription and not using it. There's the time you yourself are investing, trying to work it out. That is a cost to your business. And there's the opportunities that you aren't chasing because you're too busy trying to work this stuff out. Now, they all have a cost to you. And that's something you need to think about when you sit down to do these projects. Now, to try and start to try and tie this all together, this isn't just a beginner's mistake either. The solo business owner with barely any capital and the executive with a six-figure budget are making the same kinds of mistakes, particularly when it comes to AI. I heard Kavita Gaynison, an AI advisor, on a podcast interview the other day. I do listen to podcast interviews. I find a wealth of information in them. But Kavita said a client had messaged her and said, I want AI, I want sales. And her answer was, if you don't have sales now, that's a business problem, not an AI problem. Now, as you can see, that's the same mistake, but there's wildly different budgets with it. Our small startup business owner, huge organization, seven-figure budget, six-figure, seven-figure budget organization, and they're asking the same sorts of things. We want AI, but we don't know what we want it to do. Okay. What that should tell us is that it's not about how clever we are or how much money we can spend. It's about asking the right questions and knowing what questions we're trying to solve or knowing what problems we're trying to solve for. This is a mindset episode, so let's talk about what the mindset shift here should be or could be for you. It's up to you. Before you buy any tool, any subscription, before you invest in any shiny new object, bright shiny object, I think you need to ask yourself one question. Well, a couple of questions. Maybe it's one question asked a couple of different ways. What will this do that I'm not already doing? What will it do better than what I've already got? If I'm not already doing this, do I need to? And what problem will this solve for my business? Okay. Let me just go through those ones again and see if I get them right. What will this do that I'm not already doing? What will it do better than what I've already got? And if I'm not already doing it, do I need to do it? And what is the problem this is going to solve for me? Now, if you can't answer those, then you're not ready to buy. Even once you can answer the question, you're still going to be wrong sometimes. And that's the normal way of it. It's not a failure. We're going to fail forward. What you're doing, though, is you're allowing yourself to set yourself up to fail forward. Who was it? Einstein? I think it was Einstein. Someone. I can't remember. I didn't fail 99 times. I worked out 99 ways it wouldn't work, and the one way it would work. You're still going to fail, but you can fail forward and you can fail less expensive. Okay. Don't beat yourself up. If even after you've done all of this planning and you get into something and it doesn't work the way you think it would work, that's okay. You've learnt something there. You still know what problem you're trying to solve. Maybe you'll get to a point of this just isn't worth it. This just is not worth the effort of trying to do this. Maybe you'll get to the point of maybe I need to change this little thing here to give me something a bit different. Maybe once you start doing this, you'll work out that the question you asked wasn't quite right either. Remember, nobody built the self-driving car overnight, and they had billions and billions of dollars to spend on it. And they got it wrong, and they still get it wrong. They get it wrong less now than they did to begin with, but they got it wrong. The trick isn't to never be wrong, but it's to keep being wrong inexpensive, cheap, if you like. And that's where I'm going to head in the next episode. We're going to talk about that specifically. That's it for today, guys. It's a bit of a rant, a bit of a ramble, I think. I hope you got a lot out of it. I know that for me, this is the biggest challenge that I find when I go to work with people. to help them out. It's where do you need the help? Where can I give you the most benefit? What is it we can do that is going to give you the good wins, the quick wins, the wins that you're going to be able to build on? So have a think on that. I'd love to know your thoughts. I'd love to know your own challenges. I'd like to know where you're at with all of these processes around AI. Have you just given up and gone, I don't care? Or are you digging in, and have you found some really good places that you can use AI in your business? I'd love to know. Leave comments wherever you're watching or listening to this video. If you haven't already done so, please do subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you find out when I drop more content. If this video or this episode was useful, interesting, exciting, whichever way that works for you, I'd love it if you'd give it a like and maybe share it with a friend. And remember, I'm a tech wrangler. I can help you with your tech, can help you with your tech in your business, even if it is just getting your mind straight about where you want to go with things. I offer a free 30-minute breakthrough session. Just head across to askcharlyleetham.com and click the bright pink button in the top right hand corner to book your session. If you've already used your session, I do have many ways that I can work together with you. I like to shape things so that we both get benefit out of it. Some people are on a monthly package, some people use a retainer, some people use ad hoc. Let's talk about what works best for you. So reach out to me via my website, askcharlyleetham.com, and or DM me on one of the social media networks. You know how that works, guys. And we'll talk about it. That's it for this week. I hope it was useful, and I'll see you on Wednesday for Walkthrough Wednesday. And next week we'll get a little bit more into this particular topic. See you guys. Bye. Hey there, thanks so much for tuning in to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost. I hope today's episode gave you some actionable insights that will make your business tech work smarter for you. If you found value, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other small business owners who could use a daily boost. For more tips, tools, and resources, visit www.askcharlyleetham.com. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and let's make tech simple together.